Hello everyone, how are you? Today I would like to bring to you another video of me drawing and painting an idea I have from my head up on Procreate. It's actually a video that I captured from the stream recently up on Twitch. So this idea is actually based on the brush set and paper texture provided by True Grit Texture. The video is not sponsored by them, by the way, but I really love their brushes so far. They really effective to me, and I think that in the future I might be able to create really crazy work with these brushes. My plan on using these brushes is very simple. I want to create poster that resemble, old Victorian poster. It has that kind of vibe, but in something more fantastical and something more HP Lovecraftian kind of vibe. This is going to be another long video because I'm going to show you the whole process from me sketching to, lining things up and then painting it. So it will be rather long. I hope you will enjoy it, and let's see how it goes. In the near future, I think I'm going to have a lot of ideas like this. This is going to be just a trial one because I want to know how the brush set, the texture brushes work on this kind of texture paper, and also does it go well with my idea. I did see their sample artworks. They look amazing, and to be honest, I don't think my skill can match their level yet. But I'm still very hopeful, looking forward to really creating more and more works that suit my kind of story and the kind of universe that I want to make and create. So today's idea is how they call it, it's like a pin-up photograph from the 19th century. Yeah, pin-up photographs actually exist ever since, and they have a special kind of vibe to them. It's a photo of women dressing in a more sensual way to the people back then. But to me as an artist, I think many of them looks truly artistic and has a very strange vibe to them. A very intimate vibe, to say the least. I think in the near future I will redraw this photo to be a real poster. Now that I think about it, my original idea was actually quite different from its final stage. So with this idea, I actually look for only one photo, and the posture doesn't exactly look alike to how I draw it here, but it was enough to inspire me. It was pin-up photo, a real pin-up photo of a woman back then. when I draw in this kind of way, when I record everything back as whole process without speeding them up, you will see that it takes a lot of time for me to think about the compositions, the posture of the character, and the texture that I'm going for. In this one especially, I think I have a lot of problem with the face because of the angle slightly up. Okay, so I think at this part I was ready to line it up so that I have a full version of the sketch, the outline of the feature. It did take me some time to choose the kind of brush that I want to use as well, because the whole package is really big. I think it did have like around 40 brushes, which is crazy because normally for each painting I use around 4 to 5. So the choice seems endless for me. But it is fun. It's very fun to try all of them out and see the kind of result that I might have. I think this part of the face is especially tricky, and I might fail it at any given point. I think I am someone who, like, usually have a lot of crazy visuals and ideas in my head, but my ability to bring them out to life is very limited, and sometimes that drives me crazy. I have a ton of sketches just in case I forget about them, but there are many ideas that I've already lost. And do you ever have ideas from dreams? Because I have them from dreams a lot. Like many times I dreamed that myself was drawing or like creating on paper, and then I woke up and the idea is still there in my head. It's just amazing how the brains work. And since I have so many ideas ahead, I'm really excited, and I really hope that you guys going to look forward to all those ideas I have to share. They're not just about the visuals, not just about the aesthetic. I always love to bring out a good stories, like something that you can actually feel alive about. It's not just about the prettiness of it, but more so the life inside those paintings. One thing for sure that you might recognize that I especially love drawing about Victorian era from this channel. I have a whole playlist ready for it. As I explained before, it's one of the era that I really love drawing about. It's just something kind of thrilling, something kind of attractive about it. I know it was a very crazy era as well, so many changes in the world, and the kind of scientific achievements just as much as like the aesthetic, the cultural aspect of it. It just grows and blooms like the Renaissance or something, and I just feel like it was a very great era to invest my time in and work on them, I haven't really read too much about them as I wanted to, because it's actually not easy from my place to actually find the right resource to read, even though I think that nowadays there are more and more open resources like books and visual resource to give me a clearer kind of understanding about what the era was like. I think one of the story that I really love drawing about, that I actually drew one of the painting. I finished one of the painting for that story, which is Mary, from Mary Riley. That is a story that has the inspiration from Dr. Hyde and Mr. Jekyll, if I remember right. Or is it or the other way around? Let me check real quick. I always mistook their name altogether. Oh, so it's actually the other way around. Sorry. It was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, right? And so that was a very just I think it was very iconic. Iconic in the sense it was a gothic horror story. Like in the near future, I think I also plan to read Dracula and from Bram Stoker, and another one. What's that? Frankenstein by a female author that I have forgotten her name. But yeah, those are like iconic story. And have anyone watched the movie series Penny Dreadful? Because I love it. The vibe, the characters, everything go together. I actually don't like the ending of that movie series, but I still think that it was great. It was in general really great. And I plan to draw many fan art for the movie as well. I think the part that I draw the corset was actually quite failed because I couldn't have a clear view of it from the reference. So it did look kind of vague when I drew it out. But yeah, let's just say that it is kind of a practice. Oh my god, I think I'm so in love with this era that I don't know, like there's just something about it. This one and the Impressionism era. It's just there's something about it that just attracts me so much. Even the music from this era is actually something that I constantly listen to as well. Sadly, many of them is copyright still, like from the source. So I cannot really add in some of my favorite pieces of classical music to this video. Now that I remember, I think after these layers, I'm going to still draw another layers that more finished than this one. So yeah, this is still just a sketch. That's pretty much about drawing. Like, you constantly change it till you feel somewhat satisfied. I think I struggle with the head way more than I expected. I need to learn how to draw the head really in a more effective way. I mean, I used to be able to draw them quite, like well, but over the years, without practicing, I failed to remember many things. That's the problem. You need to keep on practicing. Cannot just, stay in the middle and do nothing and then expect to be very great about drawing. I think it's always a constant struggle. Today I talked to my friend about the fact that she had art block. I think that there is many quite argument about whether art block is real or not. But to many people like me and her and some other friends, some other close friends, it's just a reality that we sometimes cannot draw even though we still want to draw. We want to express ourselves creatively. But at the same time, when we hold the pens up, when we want to create, everything feels far away, like it's a kind of feeling that you can no longer understand any stroke line, any colors, like they're just so far apart from one another. Nothing is impressive, nothing is expressive enough, so you cannot hold on to anything. It's a very terrible feeling, sometimes even terrifying, because it feels like you lost in the middle of the sea without any connection to the land, and any kind of navigation doesn't work, like you have broken your compass. That is the kind of feeling that we have when we have art block. Over the years, due to the fact that I had depressions, like really heavy one without treatment, I actually had constant art block. I would fall deep into them from time to time. So there would be time that I can create night and days without difference, and I would be very energetic. I would be so thrilled to draw, and I just gonna draw 24 hours, and then come to the days that I cannot just even think about the fact that I'm going to draw, even though inside me, deep inside my mind, I still feel like it. I still have ideas that I want to express, but it feels exhausted. I think it's a kind of burnout as well. The fact that it's art block, at least to me and my friend, the fact that we overwork quite crazily for a short amount of time and then push ourselves to the limit so much that we feel empty and exhausted, that we can no longer work on the thing that we truly love. That's when art block happen. I think I'm going to add a perfume bottle over here. Yes, so yeah, I did add a perfume bottle over here, and I want that woman's face to express the fact that she was feeling the air, the scent coming from the perfume bottle. So yeah, talking about art block and coming back to the topic, I actually, because of the fact that I constantly had art block, I struggle a lot with, practicing or keep a constant schedule of practicing art or just about anything. Even like studying, my main subject was actually English at the time, and I couldn't study well enough to the point that I'm capable of, which was a shame really, because I could have spent the time in better way. Now that I think about it, I could have started my channel ever since then as well, when I start using YouTube a lot. But yeah, well, I didn't think about it. It was a very difficult time for me and my friends back then. I want to really share with you the story in another video, because it's actually a very long, journey. It actually lasts for 4 years in university, and then a few more years till I decided to create this channel. That would be around 11 years altogether. We went through a whole journey together for more than 10 years. And I'm glad to be here, really, to have them as my friends, and just as much as you guys to support me on this journey right now. I cannot tell how much I appreciate it. Maybe I say thanks too much, maybe it sounds really cliche, really typical of, a YouTuber, whatever like that. But I don't know, like, I think I've been through enough struggle, not as much as many people definitely, but enough for me to learn the lesson that to appreciate the little things that you got. That's my point. Like, never forget that everything has its own meaning, and everybody has their own struggle, and you need to take it in, you need to understand for people as well as yourself. Okay, I think it looks kind of nice at this stage. Because of that, after this, I think I decided to actually paint the thing. Even though I think now that I look back at it, it still has a lot of problem about proportions. But it looks fine enough. I definitely need to study more based on real reference. I cannot just, imagine out the posture and everything when I'm still very bad at the structure of the body. By the way, has anyone ever played Assassin's Creed Unity? I really love the game. I think that it actually was one of the game where Ubisoft really shine. I knew that when it was released, it has a lot of bugs, a lot of problem. I think mainly because their aim was too high, and they didn't have a good schedule to release it before it actually become a completed game like in this state right now. So I've actually played it after it got released like for several years already, and it already fixed a lot of bugs. I think even after it fixed a lot of bugs, still has some technical problem, but overall it was a very rich game about like how they design the surrounding, how they design the gameplay and everything. It was a good start for a new era for Ubisoft, especially in the franchise of the Assassin's Creed. It's kind of sad to see how they have been, dealing with dramas and everything surround the new game, and I understand where all the dislike and frustration come from, because yes, I also dislike it. I feel like it's such a sad choice from Ubisoft to change their direction into something completely, like, I must say that it's kind of silly. It's a conscious choice of people who create game in an industries that ever so growing but also very competitive like right now. But I think like they have misunderstood how their games actually was great about. And just a few years ago when they released like Origin, it was a very nice game, and I still love it. Origin, Odyssey, and yeah, even Valhalla to me has somewhat something that is still kind of like you can actually look at it and see somewhat a beauty to it, so to speak. At least from someone who come from a different culture and haven't seen much of games that talk about such era. So I do feel like it's kind of sad that when they decide to touch the Eastern culture, they go for a route that was really wrong, in my opinion, and somewhat disrespectful to the Eastern Asia culture. But yeah, I did really love Syndicate and Unity, and while we are on topic of Victorian era, those two games are like my favorite. Of course, Unity is not exactly, in England, and it's not Victorian era, but it has its own history, close knit with the later era, that is 19th century. And its art, just as much as its architect and everything, really relatable to what's going to form 19th century, especially in terms of like the era of the Victorian. I think so, yeah. And in any way, each era has its own beauty, its own struggle, its own, it was pretty bloody actually. And growing up reading story from those era, I think I'm just in love.
Summer's gone for shame. It's hard belief left me. 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 It's cut for hard belief love. It's cut for handful, stuff done for half done, hard for half done, but hard for half done. That cut for
I think one the movie that I kind of reminded by now that I really love and want to go back and draw a few fan art for it as well is Sweeney Todd. And can you believe it? It was actually released from like 2007. It's like years ago, way far ago, and it was so good. I remember the visual of that movie was very amazing. I think it was one of my favorite films from the director Tim Burton. I think he nailed it. I actually watched the musical play of Sweeney Todd. It was great. It was great, but it wasn't as what I really love from the movie Sweeney Todd itself. I think the actors and actresses from the movie expressed each character really well, especially the main duo. That was Helena Bonham Carter and the one who plays Sweeney Todd. For a moment, I actually forget his name now. But yeah, they were great. I think I was pretty amazed by their voices as well. I think their voices are not like the level of Broadway's kind of voice, but it was very emotional, really expressive, and that's what I love about this kind of movie. So I especially love the clothing from Victorian era and how they, form different layers upon layers. Very delicate one as well. I mean, I just always engrossed in fashion historical books in bookstore, or sometime when I find of blogs online, just have this beautiful picture taken in the museum of this beautiful costume. And the thing is, it's not just about, the very fancy ones that for the novels or for the one who's from the rich, but also even to the one who work in the service, who are poor. And I mean, everything, the clothing tells the stories of a person a lot. And it's all very, crazily delicate in that era. Maybe it's heavily inspired by the division of the classes, but I think it's also about the functions, how each person has their own jobs and their own status from certain class, from certain backgrounds, and it decides a lot on how they're going to look like. I think I especially was very interested by the workers' fashion because maybe from overall look, they nothing, like usually they have a certain kind of style and certain kind of vibe to them. But to me, it can be very interesting as well. It can be very creative in choice of the clothes, just as much as the colors, the texture and everything suitable with their job, at the same time still express who they are, even with very limited choice. Now that I think back about it, I might as well use the texture brush that I'm going to use later on, you will see, for the corset. Is to create certain pattern and special texture that's going to be very suitable for this kind of delicate custom piece. This is the brush, the textures brush that I'm talking about. It's already like, a piece of fabric that was scanned, and yeah, I'm using it for the fabric texture behind her. Okay, so I think it's almost done. It's almost finished. I just need to add in a little bit of background and fix his here and there, you know. I think I love the result so far. It really goes with what I really want in my mind, and it looks lovely. I think I'm going to enjoy the brush set just as much as the texture papers that was provided by True Grit Texture a lot. Again, shout out to them. If you also an artist who use digital medium for the main thing, I think you should try some of their brush set out, and yeah, it's just great. Actually, if you subscribe to their email, you can actually get some free sample brush. Here, this part was me trying out whether if I add some colors on it would work, but I think it didn't suit the whole picture, so I didn't use it in the end. Instead, just fix some details here and there. Alright, so far I really enjoyed the whole process of this video. I hope you also enjoyed this video so far, because really I think I'm so excited to draw about this era just as much as sharing with you my passions and my struggle as an artist when I draw this kind of ideas from my head. Okay, so I think that's it. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed the whole video and what I have to share so far. And I'll see you in the next video. If you like my content so far, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. I hope you're going to enjoy my new content in the future as well, and look forward to it. I really appreciate your support so far for my channel and for my content. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next videos. Bye.